So, hello everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Sadiq. Walter will be here a little bit later on, and he was like, "I have a heavy work day, so I get to the money, and then I get to y'all." So anyway, he'll be joining us later. I'd like to say hello and thank you to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you just viewers, but you are participants because we also share the link for you to come on and ask a question or speak your mind or render an opinion or whatever it is you want to do. I also like to say the purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people with the emphasis on even. Today, we have quite the show. We're going to be talking about Miss Carlee Russell. Of course, by now you guys know who she is. She is the young lady who allegedly was kidnapped on the 13th of July. The authorities say differently. Then we're also going to talk about a dispute at this woman's birthday dinner to where she expected the attendees to split the bill. And it got kind of heated. So we're going to talk about both of those things. Lauren, how you doing? Yes, it is wild. And Tawana, what's going on? Kim, how you doing? Says I'm about 30 minutes away from what happened, and looking at the press conference had me just shocked. I wasn't as shocked. It was a little shocking, but it wasn't a total shock. Like, oh my God, I can't believe it. It was just like, well, we'll get into that anyway. Shut up, Black America. Yes, you did. You said she was lying, but how you doing anyway? Donovan, how are you?
Oh my goodness. Welcome to the Money Show with Demetra K and Walter. Hey, interesting story here. By the way, that cat that you guys just saw, that is George, nicknamed Maverick, because he's an American tomcat. You guys get that tie-in there? Right. But that's the cat that was really bad off and broken leg. He had a preterm broken leg. Doing really well now. Of course, sucking up on my resources and loving the AC. But do us a favor. Since this is the Money Show, we're going to give you your first money tip. First money tip is hit that like button. You want to know why? It's free. It is completely free. So don't say that we never ever told you something that that you couldn't benefit from. So anyway, in regard to Miss Carlee here, this is going to be interesting because, women lying, women just saying stuff because they know they're going to get away with it and they're never held accountable for their actions. This is going to be very interesting.
You just had to come out with the effery, huh? You just couldn't just help yourself. But anyway, who else came on here? Maureen, how you doing? Rain Love, what's going on? And James Jeff, how are you? He says, yep, you got the Top Gun reference. And Brian, how are you doing? All right, so let's get into it because we got a lot to cover today. Again, Walter will be joining us in a little bit. All right. Facts, not feelings. And Dwayne, how you doing? So last week, unless you guys lived under a big rock, a case took the whole country, captive, if you will. It was of 25-year-old Carlee Russell from Alabama, Hoover, Alabama, right? It is reported that she was leaving work, and as she had stopped to get some food for her and her mom, and as she was driving along the highway, she saw a baby walking along the highway in a diaper, right? So guess this is what she's saying. She got out, and it sounds like she called her brother's wife or girlfriend or somebody. Also, it sounds like maybe she called 911 too. And then in the midst of all of that, she was taken, right? They heard on the other, I guess the boyfriend's wife or girlfriend heard a commotion and all this, that, and the other. Then when the authorities got there, it said it took maybe like 5 minutes for the authorities to get there. They found her vehicle running. They found her wig. They shut up, Donovan. They found her wig. They found her cell phone and some other personal effects of hers, right? So of course, from that point, this massive search went on. Everybody you could think of, for the most part, shared the information. I shared it. Please help find. Everybody shared it, right? Everybody's concerned because she was snatched. Plus, there was this baby that was on the freeway. So as time kind of went on, and people who know her, they began to say different things. Her boyfriend, I forgot the most important part. 48 hours later, she shows up at her parents' home. So I guess she lives there too, but she shows up on foot. And it sounds like maybe she was barefoot or whatever, so she walked home. All right, so yay! Everybody's ebullient. She makes it home. But then people got to talking, like her friends and different people knew her. Her boyfriend, I guess maybe it's her ex-boyfriend, he made a statement because people were trying to say maybe it was him. And he was like, nah, it wasn't me. And then certain people, I guess, that knew her or know of her said, yeah, he broke up with her, so she's probably doing this to get his attention. And of course, a lot of the doubt went through the internet. I think she's lying. They referred to her as Jussie Smollett. With him, he said he was beat up by, homophobic Trump supporters where they poured bleach on him and put a noose around his neck. And, so they're saying that's what this is like, right? All right. So I brought you guys up to speed. Now I'm going to play you what was said about where we are now with this whole thing. Y'all ready for this? All right, here we go.
Carlee's cell phone that was left behind at the scene. We enlisted the help of the United States Secret Service in conducting this analysis. Part of what data includes several internet searches in the days leading up to their disappearance that I think are very relevant to this case. On July 11th at 7:30 a.m., the term, "Do you have to pay for an Amber Alert?" was searched. On July 13th at 1:03 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term, "How to take money from a register without being caught," was searched. On July 13th at 2:13 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term, "Birmingham bus station," was searched. On July 13th, 2:35 a.m., a search for a one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville was conducted with a departure date of July 13th. On July 13th at 12:10 p.m., a search for the movie Taken, a film about abduction, was conducted. There were 2 searches related to Amber Alerts on a computer at Carlee's place of employment, including one regarding the maximum age of an Amber Alert. There were other searches on Carlee's phone that appeared to shed some light on her mindset, but out of respect for her privacy, we will not be releasing the content of those searches at this time. We've asked to interview Carlee a second time, but have not been granted that request. As you can see, there are many questions left to be answered, but only Carlee can provide those answers. What we can say is that we've been unable to verify most of Carlee's initial statement made to investigators, and we have no reason to believe that there is a threat to the public safety related to this particular case.
Dun, dun, dun. So, without him really saying it, apparently she lied, right? Now, what I did say yesterday in Black America, there's a few of y'all that was like, yeah, she's lying. What I did say is if she is lying, they would get to the bottom of it, right? And so apparently she lied. Apparently she lied for whatever reason. Now, he did say that they found some things in regards to her mindset. So I guess that's maybe a motive as to why she lied. Again, they want a second interview with her. It doesn't sound like she's giving it, but when I heard that, I'm like, well, why y'all wait for her to decide if she's going to give y'all a second interview? Sounds like to me, y'all need to bring her on in there, and I don't know, interrogate her or whatever the case is. And then from what I also understand, they're like, there's never any evidence of any baby, because they kind of said that too. Like nobody's come forward saying there's a baby missing or anything like that. So from what we can ascertain from what that man was saying, It sounds like she made it all up. Now, again, yesterday I saw different things of people saying she's trying to get the attention of her boyfriend. Now, of course, most of us have seen the movie Taken with Liam Neeson, right? His daughter's taken, and he's the ultimate badass. He's gonna go find her, all this, which is one of my favorite movies, by the way. So I don't know why she's looking up that. Maybe she's trying to find some clues of how to not get found. I don't know, but nevertheless, Carlee lied. That's what it sounds like. Sounds like a Steely Dan song. Katie lied. So I'm gonna get to you guys' comments. Donovan, I have to scratch my damn wig. These are braids. What say you?
When will you guys learn a woman is never held accountable because it's all about how she feels? She felt she was in some sort of danger. So the way she feels and how she felt about it and her prior feelings, that isn't enough to convict her of any crime. Now, if it was a Negro, black man, oh yeah, no, we don't care what his situation is, growing up in a single parent home, whatever, put his ass in jail. But when it comes to a woman, oh no, we have to believe all women. We have to do all these things, so, you don't know her situation. You don't know what she went through. That man might've drug her through the thing and messed up her mind and did all these other things. Y'all know. Believe all women, because we go through so much stuff. We're the most educated. We got so much stress going on with us. We are the best, our lives and all this other stuff. How dare you guys question this black woman when she said what she said? All right? She said what she said. Y'all should believe it. Period. Done. But in all seriousness, I got one question, Demetria. Did she come home with the new wig? Because that would have tipped me off right there. Okay, she had her just natural thing and just had her little scarf on and stuff like that. Okay, great, whatever. But, in all seriousness, the thing with this is this. And black girls, black children go missing every day. Every day. And nothing's done about it. No resources are put into it. Nothing is done. So could she have been kidnapped? Maybe, maybe not. That's not for us to say that, whatever's going to come out is going to come out. But should we give a woman, especially a young woman, the benefit of the doubt until the things come out for the factual things they are? We should give them the doubt, because what this is basically doing is what I've been saying for a long time. When you cry wolf a lot, the real people in the long run that need help are going to be ignored. So I'm glad that they use the resources to even if it is a waste of time and you're wasting these resources. The point is, anybody, any woman, any child, any person that is presumed missing, the community should come together and make an effort to find that person. And that's in all seriousness.
I see you had to give your little manosphere some red meat, huh? I see what you did there. You know what I mean?
No, it isn't red meat. What I'm saying is we got to stop giving these feminists this pulpit to say bullshit. Okay, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Women are not equal to men, so on, so forth, whatever. It is what it is. However, when you keep saying this stuff and you want to act like a man, or you want to be equal to a man, and you want true equality, you will be given true equality. But in cases like this, regardless of if she's telling the truth or not, an effort should be made to look for the person.
I mean, I guess I'm just trying to tie it all in, what that even had anything to do with her lying. I mean, because a reason why I said that, I'm gonna get to y'all comments, is because they haven't even gotten that far yet. They haven't even gotten that far to, to really just put it to it like she lied, right? They were strategic in what they did by laying out the facts as they found them, right? So they haven't gotten that far yet to say she's lying, even though I think they was kind of saying, here, y'all can, read between the lines here. This is what we found. So it's not even an issue of her being held accountable yet, because it doesn't sound like, unless they charged her recently, that she's been charged or anything. They want to have another interview with her, probably just to really drive the point home. But the other thing that I think of is they were looking for clues because they never believed her in the first place, right? Why else would they be, digging through her history? And that's something people, y'all really need to really understand. Y'all think y'all getting rid of, little evidence and stuff you're searching, which is why I have a problem with them not being able to find out who brought the crack in the White House. But that's a different story. All right, so let me get to these comments, and then I'm gonna open up the link so y'all can come on and speak your mind about this. All right, so let's see here who came on. Oh wow. Arneva, how are you doing? Top-notch rocker. What's going on with you? Angela, the Prince of Paraphernalia. How are you doing? Okay, so let's see here. Who else came on here? James, you crazy. Talking about she left the wig. Was that a telltale sign? Experience, how you doing? Says the problem now is, how are we going to explain her BS story to the K9 that was deployed at the scene? So what, there was a dog that, or what do you mean? And Flournoy, how you doing? Says, laugh out loud. I did stuff to get attention, but I was around 7 years old. She a whole grown woman. Good grief. Hey, family, how you doing? And Beth, how are you doing? And the Prince of Paraphernalia says, what do you mean? So the little B lie, just like that. That's what they're alluding to. They haven't come out and just said it, but they said, here, y'all do what y'all need to with that information. How you doing, Mr. Pirate Brain? Says Jussie Smollett was prosecuted, but she is getting a pass. Why is that? See, that's a lie. See, that's why I said Donovan be up here ginning up the mob. They haven't even gotten that far yet. But see, this is where I want y'all, honestly, to start really doing some thinking. You know what I mean? Donovan made it seem like the woman got away with it. She's home eating bonbons after she caused all this hysteria. That's not the case. They're saying, if y'all listen, that she wants, they're trying to get a second interview. She has denied it from at this moment. So they haven't gone any further than telling the public of what they found, right? So I hope now we're on the same page. The woman didn't get away with nothing yet.
And let me add this. You as a person are not obligated to help the police in an investigation of you. Okay, so she's smart by not giving them an interview. If the police are investigating you or they're doing an investigation that you might be a part of, you are not obligated to help them. So let them figure it out.
Yes, indeed. And I'm gonna skip down a little bit so I could catch up. And Facts Not Feelings, she says Donovan, these white supremacists will hold her accountable once their resources are involved. Yeah, I mean, come on now. I think we can pretty much ascertain that, because they spent a lot of money. And just looking for her, right? I mean, it was an incredible story. Like you said, it's just dumb criminal. I mean, it's like sometimes you gotta like really think about what you're doing, right? Let's see here. The Prince of Paraphernalia says, was this a whole stroll? You're crazy. Kanisha, how are you doing? And Rain says, she didn't set me back. My daughters are not liars. She set her parents back. Yeah, and she set herself back because I don't know, but it don't sound like her parents were involved in that. I mean, her dad, he was shook. He said, we will scour the earth to find my daughter. You know what I mean? So it doesn't sound like he was involved in on that. I don't know about the mom, sounds like she was trying to continue to say, because I saw an interview she did yesterday, telling the truth. And then when the interviewer asked her, is the kidnapper still out there? She goes, oh, of course. So I was like,
Yeah, I don't know. And you got to think about this. How many stories has there been out there where a black person goes missing and the white government takes any action? I mean, so this is to me, it's a good thing that they took some action, but unfortunately, there's going to be repercussions.
Yeah, Facts Not Feelings, the highways are and were covered with cameras, and no one saw a baby. They did see her slow down, but no one saw a baby, right? And we kind of talked about that yesterday. And Dwayne says she's going to have to pay for all those resources used by the investigators. Yeah, it sounds like they I know they made Jesse pay. Jesse had to pay. And let's see here. Yvette, how are you doing? It says just like Tawana Brawley. So of course you guys know that was the case in New York. I don't know. I'm still, for me, in my mind, the jury is still out of whether she lied or not, just because of where it was. And I'm like Spike Lee. Spike Lee is like Tawana told the truth. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell, but I have my doubts if she lied, is what I'm saying. Okay, and Beth, you say black women love wigs, lashes, and bundles. You crazy. All right, and so James, you says she thought her man was going to kick down doors or something. And Brian, he says, wondering if she took some drugs she couldn't handle and had her out of her mind. Don't sound like that's what it was, because it was a calculative, I guess I'm trying to say, search. So those things were intentional that she looked for on the internet, the things that they disclosed.
Premeditated, right? Premeditated.
Mm-hmm. Tisha, how you doing? And let's see here. I see y'all was all big up in Donovan's BS. Arniva says she got 15. She lied to get 15 minutes of fame, and she might end up getting some, 15 minutes of something behind bars. Kanisha says, why are you making it a woman thing? Laugh out loud, because that's what Donovan does. Facts Not Feelings says, guys, if you can please cover the black U.S. soldier who fled over the border to North Korea. This is an explosive story. I haven't heard anything about it, so let me write it down. And Emily says, who are you talking about? The same white woman BS? Blind guy, how you doing? Says, laugh my ass off. DK faces, facial expressions. Yes, it's like, here we go again, right? Kanisha says, they said she had braids. Also, like, her hair was braided down under the wig type of thing when she came back. All right. Black America says, Donovan, I can't come up. I need you to hold it down. Cut it. A. Lauren says, I'm learning about my own black female group every day. Jason, how you doing? Says, in the words of late Gary Wayne, Monroe says, this is Monroe, the Crunkest show on social media history. Good afternoon. You really miss him, don't you? All right, so let me skip down. Sun Kisser, how you doing? Says, exactly. Too many of us go missing for this to get so much attention. This is a setup from what's to come. People. And Key, I hope I said that right. I probably didn't, but how you doing? It says she might have been having a mental crisis. You're having a mental crisis. Do you do the things that she did before she got on the grand stage, if you will? Hey, Brother Reggie, how you doing? All right, so let me move down. I see that I am behind. Damon, how are you? Sooty Man, what's going on with you? LP, how are you doing? Ish, I know I'm saying wrong. Mrs. Wilson, how you doing? Because I know you told us how to say it once before, but I'm going to jack it up, so I don't want to do that. All right. Okay, let's see. And Angelique says the first tip off was no one else saw the baby on that highway. Yep. Top Notch Rocker says she missed her daddy. Okay. And Sooty Man says the highway was too busy for no one to see anything. Jan Michael, how are you doing? And Brian says drug tester ASAP. Well, it might have something to do with it. Clarence, how you doing? Says running after a baby that was never there. Yeah, sounds like she made that up. And the Prince of Paraphernalia says top. Okay, so you're applying to somebody. Sparkling Bubbles, how you doing? Says they have her on video buying snacks at Target. The snacks were not in the car. She took a bathrobe and toilet paper. So yes, I saw that yesterday where they said they did have her at Target buying snacks and they were not with her. So it's like, did you take a bus ride with the snacks? Which is what you would do, right? If you get on the bus. Sun Kisser says, y'all as black folks, they're trying to get us to not trust each other's truth. This happens way too much for only this one attention. Okay. Supernova, how you doing? And King of Sorrows says, even though the plan was horrible, it was a plan she mentally fit. See, that's what I'm saying. Do people who are not like, because I could see if it was you were in crisis mode and you just like you like maybe something traumatic happened to you, just like you snap type of thing. But it don't sound like she snapped. It sounds like she, was very conniving. I guess what I'm looking for. Black America says she should have said the aliens took her. I saw somebody say that, like, maybe the aliens did take her.
And for those that don't know, the United States government has acknowledged that we have been visited by aliens. So that would be a credible thing to say. I mean, it would be. But no, real quick, D, in your opinion, from the evidence that you already have and ascertained, what do you think actually happened? Do you think this young lady probably snapped on relationships? Because let's face it, women are emotional women, and women do feel more so than men in regards to relationships. Could that have been a plausible thing to happen to her?
I will say this, and doing what I do, I have learned, because I still make some mistakes here and there, so I'm not perfect, but I've learned to kind of just try to hold my judgment of stuff until I know, most of what there is to know before I form an opinion. But I will say this, it did seem very suspicious to me as well. The thing that got me was the baby. Like, what happened to this baby? You know what I mean? And nobody else saw it. So I have my suspicions. I thought it was kind of weird, as I think most people did. Now, why she did it, if it was over a boyfriend, listen, she's 25. Maybe the man was the love of her life. Maybe he broke up with her. It was very traumatic. I think we've all had a very traumatic experience, somebody, dumping us or breaking up with us. And, at some point you think, well, I'll do anything to get back into their good graces. And maybe that was her way of doing it, right? Well, maybe he wasn't answering the phone or something, and she comes up with this story to get him to, oh, I really do love her. I don't know. So yeah, I think maybe that was what happened with her. That's probably what they'll come out with, has something to do with the ex-boyfriend. I don't know. So we'll see. Angela, how you doing? Says Donovan is exactly right about questioning the number of times the same resources are used for missing Blacks. Absolutely. And let's see here. Moving on down. Don't ask me how you doing. Says we kind of knew it. Lewis, how are you? Says who was her accomplice? They didn't say anything about that yet. They didn't say if she had an accomplice or anything like that. Hey, only Pamela's way. Yeah, we are live. Valerie, how are you doing? Oh, I made it to the bottom. Okay, so now I can start reading guys' comments again. Pamela, how you doing? Rodney, how are you? Says could be a lie or a psychotic break. I'm tending to think that it was a lie. And she had a motive, and sounds like they kind of know what the motive is. They want to have a conversation with her, though. I'm thinking the motive is going to have something to do with her boyfriend or her ex-boyfriend. That's what I'm thinking. But then I don't know. Maybe she was trying to fake her death, right? Maybe she tried to do that, and then it got too hot. I don't know. They'll tell us, because I'm sure they got the answer. They're just waiting for her to fill in a couple of more of the holes that they already know. You know what I mean? Sister B, how you doing? It says Black women are not responsible for the silliness of this sorority chick. And you know what? You hit the nail on the head. Because one thing we're not going to do is allow the actions of some silly women out there to blanket all Black women. And we already got the world, the white people, whoever else is going to do it. We don't need to do that to ourselves. That woman don't speak for the rest of us. Those were her actions and her actions alone. And because I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, this is going to look bad on the Black community. It's embarrassing for the Black community. This is why nobody to take it seriously. It's like, y'all are really dumb. Just dumb. You know what I mean? If you really think that the action of that individual is telling a story about all Black women, it sucks and it's sad that people think that, but it sucks even more that we think that about ourselves. And that's kind of why I was rolling my eyes a little bit at the beginning, because it's like, what we don't want to do is put that narrative out there that this is a Black woman thing, because the white woman has lied her ass off since she's been in existence. She's still lying, but somehow the Black woman gets on the hook. I'm not saying she should be absolved of what she did, or anybody who lies. I'm not saying that, because from what I just saw here, says 100,000 Black women are missing since 2020. Mm-hmm. And if those women are missing, that means that it wasn't a lot of effort put in. It wasn't the effort that was put into finding her, put into it. So we got to be very careful of the narrative that we put out there. That is not all Black women. Did you want to say something, Donovan?
No, that's basically what I was saying in regards to when, the resources that are used for the countless of Black women that are actually snatched every day. There's almost no resources allocated to when these women and children are taken. Okay, if she's lying in this one instance, okay, it's one person in one instance, but that isn't indicative of all women, Black women.
I'm putting a link up here, you guys, if you guys want to come on and, ask a question, speak your mind. All I ask is that if I don't know who you are already, please show me your face before I bring you up to the big screen to cut down on the shenanigans. And also ask that you be brief, as brief as you can, unless, somebody else is going to come up. So there's the link up in there. Rain, you say her story did sound sketchy, but with Black men minding Black women's business. I wanted to hear what the police investigation said first. Well, one thing we know for sure is they were going to get down to the bottom of it. And my mom used to always say there's no such thing as a perfect crime, especially in today's age with the internet. You're leaving a digital footprint everywhere you go. And
holding that cell phone as a tracking device.
Yeah. What's happening?
Had to throw my hat on too. How y'all doing?
We're doing fabulous. And yourself?
Oh, that's fabulous. I like that. Fabulous. Yeah.
So what's
she described the E-Trade baby when she made the description of the baby. The diapers, the shit.
Yes.
Yeah, that whole thing, you could just tell it was manufactured. And it's a shame because Black women is acting out of pocket is causing a lot of L's, like the woman in Italy that she got beat up in Italy at the hotel. And it's just a bad look. And I know it's not every person's fault. Just like, huh?
And let me address this real quick. Your average logical thinker, how are you today? He says, Carlee got me out here looking like a fool. I understand why you say that, but nah, you did what you should have done. Somebody says that they're missing or, they're in danger. You did what you were supposed to do. You lended a hand to try to find her some way, somehow. It's unfortunate for her, not us. It's unfortunate for her that she's done that, and that will follow her the rest of her life. You know what I mean? So don't feel bad. So what was you saying, Mr. Pirate Brain?
I just hope that she has consequences for what she did, because why should Juicy Smollett have consequences when he belongs to the LGBTQ? He was supposed to be absolved the consequences too, being part of that community, but they hemmed him up real quick. So she should have consequences too for that.
And again, like I said, we don't know what they're going to do to her because they're still investigating, right? They're just keeping the public abreast of what's going on thus far, like a regular investigation, right? But they haven't gotten and One Who Cares, I see you saw that said that they had a press conference an hour ago, so I don't know if something else came out of that, but we don't know. We don't know what they're going to do because they haven't gotten that far. But we got to stop with the misnomers and just the misinformation, the stereotypes. Black women aren't held accountable for anything. There's a whole penitentiary in every damn state full of Black women. In fact, they said Black women are the fastest growing prison population. So how in the hell we gonna sit up here and say that Black women aren't held accountable? I tell y'all, I had a cousin. She gave the feds 14 years for who riding with her man. Ooh. During a robbery. She was in the car. They gave her 14 years. So she was held accountable. First, she was there, so she probably should have been to some degree, but 14 years. So
that's a long time.
It's a long time to be who riding with your man.
And she was probably in her prime years too.
Yeah. So the point that I'm making is, let's stop the bullshit. Let's stop. Black women aren't held accountable. It's a lie. It's a lie, and it's an emotional lie.
Well, yeah, and I agree with you. But at the same time, we got to stop the bullshit with the black men ain't shit and stuff like that. It's on both sides. That's the problem. No, I hear what you're saying. But we got to stop it on both sides. Anonymous B says, arrest her if she was lying. Now, here's my question, Anonymous B. What if she was lying and she has a mental issue? Do we arrest people that basically have mental issues and incarcerate them? There was an article I put up on my page yesterday, as a matter of fact, talking about how California and a lot of states went away with mental institutions. Thus, we see a plethora of people on the streets that have mental issues that aren't getting the help they need, to where back in the day, there was a movie on it, One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, with Jack Nicholson and those people like that. Where are these institutions to give these people help? No, we got rid of these institutions because it costs money, or it was some kind of plan to put these people out there to become problems within the communities. So the question is this. Okay, let's say she is lying. Let's just say hypothetically she's lying, but she has mental issues. Is that her fault? And
I don't know if he froze up. Donovan sometimes has
he froze up.
Oh,
I like to say something while he's getting unfroze. My first wife used to work for institution in DC, because I'm from the DC area, and she worked for an institution. And when Reagan came into office, he shut them all down, and they all had to go to the street, all of them. And it was sad. I witnessed that happening.
Yeah, and Ronnie, again, I'm gonna just tell y'all today, I love every last one of you. I truly do. Y'all remember how y'all used to get an ass whooping back in the day? This is gonna hurt me more, it's gonna hurt you, but I just want to let you know I love you. Y'all gotta stop lying to kick it. Dr. Umar never said black women do no wrong. It's black men's. He never said that. But somehow y'all don't stand on the lie. And from my experience, when people lie, when the truth is out there, that's to validate their feelings about something. Because for y'all to say, well, Umar said black women can do no wrong, that's how you feel. But it's been a copious amount of evidence out there and videos and stuff of Umar digging in black women's behinds too. So it's like, let's tell the truth here, right? I know people have an issue with Umar. I'm neither here or there, to be honest with you. I like a lot of the things he says. Does he have some issues? Yeah. But let's tell the truth, because when you lie, then it makes everything else you say faulty. You know what I mean? If we could do that. Hello. Okay. Let's see here. Who else? Donna, how are you doing? It says California has Ronald Reagan to thank for the lack of resources for the mentally ill. Yeah, and that's probably true everywhere, right? LP says, was it mental for her to look up how to steal from a cash register? Yeah, that part right there is like, well, what was really going on, right? Sanchez 73, how you doing? Says, I didn't jump to reaction when I heard about Carlee. Didn't believe the story. Honestly, believe all women. Yeah, right. I think it's just logical to wait until you have something to go on, right? We know with the internet, people, they jump to conclusions before they have a reason to. So sometimes you just got to sit. And I'm telling you, because of, being in journalism and doing a lot of research and stuff, like I said, I've made mistakes and I make mistakes still. But what I have learned to do is just say, okay, let's let it unfold just a little bit. See, because in this day and age of the internet and what they call yellow journalism or the gotcha, I gotta be the first one to break the news. And then you'd be wrong because you're trying to get the clicks and the likes and the views, and then you're wrong. So that's all I'm saying. All right, who else can? Only Pamela's Way says, I just sit back and look at our people down each other and also care what them folks think when they have zero morals after all the abuse and horrific stuff that is and was done to them folks. And you know what? You're right, because people who say those, well, why do white people gonna think about us? And that's why white people don't like us now. You're brainwashed. Unbrainwash yourself, because white people never liked you in the first place. And you think this is the reason they don't like you? Who else came on here? Stacy, how are you doing? Your average logical thinker. He says, wow. So you're replying to somebody. And James Young, how you doing? He says, do they arrest Karens when they lie? So she deserves the same pass the Karens get. Yeah, actually, some of them Karens have been getting arrested. I think there's a difference between being a Karen, maybe, and lying and saying somebody did something to you. Now, y'all got to also remember, it was reported that a trucker said they saw a man, a tall, brown-skinned man by her car. So I was like, what happened with that, right? Like, who was that, if indeed he did see that? So maybe he was mistaken. I don't know. Kiki, he says, oh, y'all are talking about the Carlee Russell situation too. Yeah, I think some charges are coming out of this one. It's a low profile for now because they're building what they need to. But I think it's some charges coming at first. I thought it was something psychological going on. But from what I've read, she seemed very cognizant of her actions. So we'll see. I'm just saddened that the Black woman girls who've never come home aren't getting the same attention, even from, I think he meant the Black community. Oh, Lord, speaking of the Black community. How you doing?
I told y'all ass, lying little heifer. Lying little heifer. And Demetri, it's not that the white community looks at us and say, oh, because of that reason. It's just thing after thing after thing. It just keeps piling up. I don't see you not seeing this stuff pile up. Twerking at the slave camps, getting in fights in airports, lying. It was a case a few years back of this girl lying and suing the school, sent this man to 5 years for prison for lying, saying he did something to her. It just keeps compiling, and it's piling up like a big old cattle boo-boo, like cattle boo-boo. It's bad. You gotta stop. You know, the longer you're in this space, and I know, once again, I know you're on the woman's side and you want to have an open mind, but the longer you're in these spaces, you're going to start seeing stories like this, and you're going to be like, oh my God, the men are right. You're going to turn red pill. I'm sorry. You're going. Oh, more.
I just want to say this, okay? As long as I'm a logical thinker, I'm never going to blame all of one of anything.
Go ahead.
I'm never going to do it because, like I said, a lot of the things that are said about Black, and I want to say this, y'all saw 4 Black women on the slave caves there in Ghana. Did you see all Black women over there? No. You don't see all Black women doing that. In fact, I don't know any Black women who twerk anywhere. Now, they might twerk in their own house, but that's their business. But I don't know any women that just, I don't know them.
You're old. You're old. You're not going to see it.
Listen, whether I'm
You're old.
or not, but wait. Now, hold on. When you get older, you're supposed to use what? Wisdom. You're supposed to be a logical thinker. Now, listen, I know a lot of the stuff that come out of the manosphere, and I'm going to say it myself, is from an emotional standpoint. And as I told Donovan, and this is why I'm going to get in trouble, but guess what? I don't care. A lot of y'all hate your mamas. And that's why y'all feel about all Black women the way you do. Because if you were a logical thinker, you would be able to say that's not all Black women. Because I guarantee you, y'all grandmamas don't act like that. And well, maybe some of y'all mamas do. I don't know. But y'all would sit up here and say y'all mamas ain't no 304s. But y'all want to cast those aspersions on all Black women, just like it ain't all Black men. Jussie Smollett was a black man. Why y'all ain't get on y'all war horse talking about black men lying? Well,
He's gay.
I knew you was
He's
gonna say
gay.
that.
He's not a man. He's not a man. He's kicked out of the man club. He
Okay,
can't use the bathroom with me.
Okay, you know what? You'll be surprised, my brother, how many men are actually gay, and then you don't know it. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Y'all want to, put blanket all black women because y'all have a problem with black women. And as a black woman, you damn right, I'm going to defend black women because it ain't all black women. Just like I sit my black ass up here and I defend black men. Anybody who follow this show will tell you that Demetra is in the middle. I'm not one of these man-hating people because, as I said, I got a very dope and dynamic black daddy, and I would never disrespect him. Or by disrespecting all black men. Have I been done dirty by black men? Hell yeah, I have been. But you know what? I never once thought about dating outside of my race. I never got on this thing and said black men ain't this and black men ain't that. Because I know it's an individual basis. So don't lie on me, Black America. I know you want to say that
I haven't told any lies on you.
Yes,
you know.
you
Now,
have.
come on now. I don't do that. Stop that. You're going to hurt my feelings. This is my birthday. Don't be doing me like that.
Happy birthday, you old sucker.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Lord have mercy. Let me get something.
You know what I think happens to a lot of black men, because I know it's happened to me, is that when you get done wrong in a relationship, and the older you get and the more collectiveness that the more wrong that you collect, it becomes difficult to recoup from those wrongs as you get older. And I think even though we always say that women are emotional, I think men have a harder time recovering because we don't get the same empathy that women get when they're done wrong.
But you know what though? I
agree with that.
I agree with it too. But I don't think I think it's kind of like a nature thing, and maybe it's wrong because people, at least they used to be, and when I say used to be, I think about my daddy, right? Men just like, yeah, it sucks, but I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna still make it do what it do. I'm not gonna say, so I'm not saying it's right, but I think men who really understand what it means to be a man, like, they're like, I know I'm not gonna get the same treatment as a woman. She's supposed to be the softer sex and demure and all of that other stuff. So I'm not expected to be treated like her. Now, should it be fair? Yeah, it should be fair. But I mean, come on now. I think any man worth his way to tell you guys, suck it up. Stop. Wait. Stop expecting this. Why, as a man, let me ask y'all three. I want to answer from every last one of y'all. As a man, and y'all say y'all are a man, why y'all expecting the same treatment as a woman?
I'll go first because women want damn equality. And if you want equality, I'm going to give it to you with both barrels blasting, period.
That didn't answer the question, but go ahead, Black America.
That did answer the question.
I think if women want equality, as soon as they raise their voice to a man, they should be able to face the music just like other men do.
And what music is that, might I ask?
Once again, if me and Donovan got into an argument, it's going to come to blows. It's not going to come to, I'm going to call your mom or next time you see me. It's going to be some furniture. I don't know why women think that when men, we walk away from you or walk away from a situation is because, you're soft or something like that. It's because either I'm 225 pounds. I'm going to hurt somebody. And if I don't hurt somebody, I'm going to get hurt. And then if I don't be dispatched, I'm going to come back. Men always come back. We are dangerous animals, us men. You guys really need to learn that.
All right, before Mr. Pirate Brain, I gotta address this. So you mean to tell me, because Donovan shook his head in agreement, that y'all are so emotional that y'all will get into blows over words? Y'all are that illogical to where words will make you fight each other?
It doesn't have anything to do with emotions. It has to do with respect. And all you look for as a man is respect. I just want my respect. If Donovan beat me in a fight, guess what? I'm either going to take that on the chin and respect him, or I'm going back to get my respect, and it's going to be a piece of his ass. So it's about respect. It's not about emotions. Men have been told to push down your emotions for a long time. Me and him are old enough to where we know how to handle our emotions. These younger men, maybe not quite so much.
You know, here's the thing. And a lot of women, I think, do not understand this. Men are dangerous. We are. I mean, why do they send us off to fight battles? Because men are dangerous. And women have the illusion that we're not dangerous because we have consequences for fighting in society. So they'll jump up in your face and smack you and do this because they know that you're not going to hit them back, because if you hit them back, you got consequences. So they will go ahead and take advantage of the fact that you're not going to do nothing. And I think they lose. I think in this society, they've lost sight of the fact of how dangerous that men can be.
What, you know what? Everybody has a potential to be dangerous. Everybody, men, women, children, everybody has the potential to be dangerous. But you know what is dangerous? Is a person that is fueled by emotion and not logic. That is dangerous, because I'm gonna tell you right now, every time somebody, especially doing this, every time somebody called me a name or something, I want to get all stupid and stuff. I wouldn't even be on here no more. Sometimes you got to say, so what? And you know what I mean? But to hear that as a man, y'all would get into blows over some words because you disrespect me, so then potentially we could see y'all out there doing the same thing y'all accuse black women of doing, acting like hyenas, out there fighting in the street because somebody says something disrespectful. Are you like kidding me?
Well, we don't do things. We don't go to blows because we acknowledge each other's dangerous aspects. Like, I'm not going to disrespect Donovan because I know that there could be consequences. So we respect each other.
Well, the thing is this. Everybody sits here and tries to understand the other species, right? I'm not here trying to understand women and their psyche and their problems or whatever. All I'm trying to understand is my place in this world as being a man. Women need to stop trying to psychoanalyze what men should do, whatever. Men are going to be men. Cream rises above the crop, right? That's just how it is. When it comes to respect between men, it's more of a territorial thing with the respecting. It has no rhyme. It has no reason. It's how we are programmed, period. We are a higher species of animal. Here I go again with the animal thing. You see it in the animal kingdom. The bigger aggressive dog demands respect in his clique. It's as simple as that. It's the same thing with men. So if I'm a regular small man. So if I'm around Black America and a Pirate Brain, these guys might be a little bit bigger than me. I'm going to walk a little bit gently than I necessarily would need to, for the simple fact that if something goes awry, there's going to be danger. And that's how men think. Anytime I'm around other men, danger could happen. People can get hurt or killed. That's how men think. I know you women think, oh, that's ridiculous. Your emotions run you in this, that, this. Of course, you're going to think like that because you're not in the man species. That would be like recently what somebody said. How am I going to tell you, Demetra, how to have a baby? How am I going to do that?
Okay, let me just back it up a little bit. You said we are a higher species of animals, but you don't even have the common sense that God gave a cricket. You talking about you gonna go to blows over somebody said to you?
No,
So
I didn't say I was going to go to blows. I said it could
wait
be
a
though.
minute, wait.
It could be.
Right, but Black America said, and you was.
It's a possibility. It's
Right.
a possibility because of our carnal nature. Our carnal nature.
How do you say you're a higher species of animals and you thinking like one?
Our carnal nature gives us that. Period. Okay, when I say species of animal, how many mammals are there on the earth? Thousands of them, and we're one of them. Our carnal nature is no different than any other animal out here. Survival, your basic survival. See, and that's the difference. Women want to psychoanalyze and say, oh, men should do this, men should do that. No, men don't think like that. Men, we are carnal in our desire. We are carnal in our thought. That's it. Men are very simple creatures, period.
But see, it ain't just men, humans. I don't even go to church, but I know that it says that we as people, we do have carnal desire. So it ain't just men. What you telling me is that men and women, because we do have carnal desires, we both do, but what you're telling me is because you are a man, you lack control.
No, we're actually telling you that we have control. We have control because I'm going to be careful of how I treat Donovan because I know it could end badly. So I'm going to control myself.
You said that, but these two here did not say that. You said that.
I said the exact same thing. You're just taking it differently. If it's a problem, the thing is, you don't understand that if it's a problem, I could wrap my hand around someone's neck and wring it with one hand. If that happens on your end, if you get mad or upset on your end, you couldn't even wrap your whole hand around my neck. What I'm saying is I'm 200 and something pounds. If I was to hit somebody, it's gonna dispatch them. If you're 165 pounds, you hit me, I won't feel it, especially if I'm mad. Men, if we are going back and forth and respect has been broken and lost, then it's going to be a problem. And just like the gentleman said, it's going to end badly for one or both of us.
Brother Andre, how you doing? I muted you. Go unmute yourself.
There it is.
Hold on. Oh, there you go. What's
Hey,
on
how
your
y'all
mind?
doing? Hey, how y'all doing? This is an interesting topic. Look, if a man has a problem with another man, all that jacking back and forth, off the rip, you really don't want it. Like, just this whole thing of I'm a man, I'm a mammal or animal, as Donovan would say. No, you can't go through life this, or if I seem disrespected, well, I'm gonna go ahead and put hands on them. I was in the military. I learned this term called controlled aggression, and that was the best thing I ever learned. For you to do what you need to do, you take everything you got and you focus it, and then once that's done, you pull back, or you have some people that know you pull you back. But it's not, I'm just engaging everybody.
Yeah, no, that isn't what we're saying. What we're saying is, even though you're in the military, Black Americans in the military, I was in the military, everybody's in the military. We've all been trained to do a certain thing and to act a certain way. What we're saying is this: if we're in a pool of thing and I happen to disrespect Demetra, right? And you don't like that I disrespected her, your voice starts raising, my voice starts raising. Then Black America is holding me back, and then Pirate Brain, he starts holding you back. It keeps escalating. That is our carnal knowledge as animals, that we are aggressive. Not saying that we're going to do it. Yes, we're supposed to use our intelligence, but I'm not saying in every situation that's going to happen. But as a man, regardless of what these guys are holding us back, whatever, that is our natural aggressive instinct. which is carnal. And that's just period. It doesn't matter how you're trained. Now, me and you might handle it a different way because of our military training or whatever. But let's say you're on the streets. Do you think that they've been trained enough to focus their stuff? No, they're going to use their carnal instincts for survival. That's what they're going to use.
Well, I got family that were in the streets, and the men that brought them up with you have a code like, hey, look, there are some things you're going to have to kind of like, yeah, whatever. Like if there is a, let's say you said something to Demetra that I didn't care for, I would say, whoa, hey, Hoss, hey, man, don't say that to her. You need to apologize. Now, I'm not going to raise my level. I got cousins that's in the street. They don't raise their voice. They'll tell you once, hey, man, we ain't going for that. Now, you say something fly after that, they're going to find you in the hospital. And that's just the way that I was raised. Like when I went to the military, the controlled aggression refined it, but all the men in my family were that way. We're going to quickly assess and like, look, I'm going to give you a warning. You don't listen, that's your problem. And to me, the whole hold me back, somebody got to hold me back. Again, to me, you don't want this fight. You want all this attention to make it look like you doing something.
But I think we're saying what you said. I think we're actually saying what you just said.
Let me address this. Block me because you love lies. You said, this is why I will never trust women. Well, men are an option. You can always be with a man.
Man.
Stephen.
Lord.
I mean, I'm just saying, no judgment. You can always be with a man.
Like Pryor was saying, I was married for 15 years. Yes, my ex-wife did some stuff that I didn't care for. Was I an angel in that? No, and I stand on it. But does that mean I look at all women, especially black, as a threat or I can't trust them? No. I'm going to get to know you, and you start acting shady, okay, I got to put you in the pay you no mind list and keep it pushing. I'm too old to be doing all of the extra stuff. So that's just me. I mean, if that brother feels that way, then like you said, Demetra, there are other options. I mean, if he don't care about the gender thing, then he can help himself. For me, I'm gonna keep doing what I do.
Yeah, just keep it pushing. You know, you don't need to. You're doing too much talking for me. Go find the man that's gonna be good for you. You know, I don't know. You know,
I hope he treats you well.
Right. Invite me to the wedding. I'll probably come and dance at the wedding. You know, no judgment. DJ PD said this is getting crazy. Scotty, beam me up. No, I mean, but I just think at the end of the day, we have to realize everybody has issues, but it's not all of one, demographic that has all the issues. I saw somebody make a comment about, let me find it. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. Hi Tech, how you doing? It says airports causing problems on flights, yelling at people in Dubai, twerking over in Ghana, and now this black women are alienating a lot of people. It's like, are you for real? So you mean to tell me those few little incidents you saw there, and they were egregious, I'm not saying they're not, they speak for all black women? Is that what you're saying? Please tell me you're not illogical in that way.
No, it's the same thing. Like, I don't know, when somebody, the Will Smith thing, I hate to bring that up. He made us all look bad. Oh, no, he didn't. That's on him. That doesn't reflect on me or Donovan or any other black man. He made a choice to handle that situation that way. That's on him. I do agree. A lot of us got to get out of that one big N-word mentality. And it's the same thing for the women. All women are that way. See how they make it. No, not all women go twerking everywhere.
Hold on a second. Shirley, I'm going to send you the link. You say, shame on me. I'm going to put the link in here just for you. Don't nobody else click this link. But Shirley, I want her to come up here and say why it's a shame on me.
Well, I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to say it over and over again. A woman cannot tell me how to be a man, nor as a man can I tell her how to be a woman. And if we can stay on that, then everything is copacetic. Simple as that.
And the thing is, I mean, I'm not trying to tell no man how to be a man. I cannot give you any instructions on that. But I sure wish that y'all would take your own advice, because there's a whole bunch of Negroes on the internet trying to tell women how to be women. And it from your Derek Jacksons to your Ace Metaphors and all those other, all of them. Oh, this is how you got to do it. And it should, y'all spend more time mad at us than y'all do them. And they be the main one talking crazy. Oh, you don't do
you mean some of them? Some of them.
Well, most of them that I've seen.
Right. You want to know why? I got a simple answer for you, Demetri. Because you ain't nothing like my mama. Mama, you're the queen of my heart. That's why. We want y'all to be like mama.
Okay, can I advise you, give you some advice? Then marry your mama.
No, I'm going to make her like my mama. No, go ahead.
Yeah, you know what, though? I've said this. I swear I've said this. A lot of men, they got a lot of dysfunction with their mama, but some of these men, I'm not even saying black or white or whatever, your mamas is like your woman. And you notice a lot of men that have never married, they get married when their mama died, not because they're looking for a wife, they're looking for another mama. So in a lot of cases, yeah, y'all are holding, the woman that you're with up to your mama. Oh, you can never be my mama. It's like your mama got a mustache. I'm just playing. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Hey, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you, Andre.
No, but that is true. A lot of men are looking for women that is like their mama or their grandmother. And unfortunately, they're being disappointed because these women are not that, and they will never be that. I mean, good example. We talk about Ray Ray and Pookie's. What's the first thing that you will get in a fight with Pirate Brain when it comes to a Ray Ray and a Pookie? Talk bad about his mama. Talk bad about his mama.
Yeah.
And he ready to go in.
I mean,
but you know what the sad thing is, though? And I think you and I all three of us can agree on this. If you had a good mother and father image, which both of my parents were together until my mother passed away about 4 years ago. So I had, even though there was problems in the house, my dad got up and went to work every day, and my mother did too. And they treated us well. We never wanted for nothing. And from the way that you guys talk, I know the way Demetri describes her father, she had a good father too. So you look for that in a man, Demetri. When you are looking for a man, you want a man that's going to at least be like your father.
And the other thing about that too is, because I know a lot of times, men or women, they don't want to be held to the standard of their mama or their daddy. But especially if you had a good mama and a good daddy, you would like to try to be with somebody who is as close to that as possible. Now, that doesn't mean to say that your parents were perfect, but, and my dad wasn't perfect, but my dad is a man's man. You know what I mean? He set the bar high for manhood in regards to how, myself and my sister see men. And it's good. You're supposed to set the bar high, right? Now, I'm not saying a man has to be exactly that. But it'd be nice. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm never going to talk bad about black men. I was not raised to do that.
Well, unfortunately, Demetri, in your situation, there's only one Superman per planet, and your dad was it. So if you're looking for that, it ain't gonna happen.
It is.
My father told me, if you want to know, when you meet a girl, and then he told me this when I was young, I was in high school. When you meet a girl, first thing you want to do is go over there and meet her parents. And if you see how her mother is, if she's a good mother, then that's going to be a good woman for you.
And it also shows you how her shape is going to be as she gets older. When I first met Demetri's mom, I walked in the door and I met her. I was like this. Oh my God. It was just in the back of my head. That's just how I felt, because she was that attractive, and no disrespect, as a woman. She was just, whoa, holy crap.
Yeah, my mom.
And I thought y'all was family.
No, I mean, that's the courting process, though. The courting process says that you're supposed to meet everybody, right? You meet the person, y'all, hey, okay, all right, you come meet my family. And as you're meeting the family, you're supposed to size them up. Well, what is their mama talking like? What's the daddy talking like? Because they probably taught that to, the significant person, the other that you may be trying to entertain, be in a relationship with. So that's what it's for, to pay attention to all that stuff.
And my dad also taught me, when you go in there and you meet her father, you shake his hand with a firm handshake. And when you talk to him, you open your mouth and you look him in the eye when you're talking to him. And that got me through life.
Well, yeah. Here's the funny thing. My mom told me the same thing, because my mom was a widow. But she said, when you're talking to another man, let's say the man's father, and he just asks you a question, if you don't know the answer, let him know you don't know that answer, so you don't look there be looking stupid, but have an opinion on things that you do know. Because the man wants to know how you're thinking and what direction your mind is going. If you're going in there and talk about, well, Mr. Smith, when my rap career starts, 17 years old, talking that stupidness, that ain't going to be a good thing. At least talk about the black backup plan.
And let me address this. Freddie B, how you doing? You're absolutely right. He says, I didn't know it was this much divide between black men and black women until YouTube. And you know what? It's the internet. It's the internet, because we all know black men and women, and we get along fine in real life, right? But you get on this internet and it's just,
Hell no, we don't.
Well, you got 16 babies, so I take your word for it, okay? But I'm saying for the rest of us, we know black men and women who get along fine, whether it's your significant other or it's your brother and sister. I have 4 siblings. I have 4 siblings, and we all get along great. All of us, we get along great. I mean, we have our issues here and there, but it's never to the point where we don't speak anymore or nothing like that. And even a lot of my exes, I'm really good friends with, because it's like, whatever. We didn't work out. Well, one of them, he can never call me. Well, maybe 2, 3. But the point is, I'm cool with a lot of them, right? Even though we didn't work out. So.
Yeah, I get along with my ex-wife too. And it's, and like me and Demetra, we used to see in the chat room, we'll disagree on a lot of things, but I think we agree on more than we disagree on,
And let me hold on one second, Black America. And Chuckster, how you doing? He says, so if a father set the example of what a man's supposed to be for his daughter, then why are men getting beat up for that same example when it comes to a woman? Who do you know? I'm not ever beating a man up if he's had a good mama and she set an example for him. Like, who is doing that? I tell you one thing, and I'm 52 years old, and I can tell you in my experience, just from a woman's point of view, you better check out the relationship that man has with his mama. Because if he always talking about, my mama this and my mama that, I can't stand my mama, run. Because he ain't going to get along with you either. Because the mama is the first teacher. And for whatever reason, that man don't like his mama. He ain't going to like you. He going to like you long enough to get into bed with you. He might stick around a couple years. But if that man talk greasy about his mama, listen, she might deserve all of that. But what I'm speaking from a woman's point of view. What that should tell you is he has some unresolved, unhealed trauma, and he is going to exact that on every woman he meets. I had a man tell me he likes attention. He says, I like attention. And I said, well, you're kind of old to be seeking attention. You know what I mean? But then once I got a little bit more intel, he was never validated got validation from his mom, healthy validation. You know what I mean? So he's gone his whole life getting attention, woman that likes a picture, whatever, right? And it does not give him the ability to stay in a relationship with a woman, because when another woman comes along, well, she said you're cute. I think you're fine. And then it's like, dude, he gone because he got more attention. So what I'm saying is women, get to know a man and get to know how he is with his mama, because that is how he's going to treat you, because that's where he learned how to treat women, was from the behavior his mom exhibited with him and how more than likely he saw his dad interact with women.
I got a question for you, Demetria, real quick. Now, you met my mom on an occasion where you came in the house and she was yelling and screaming at my nieces and stuff. Now, you know my mom good enough to know, because a lot of people keep asking, they go, well, Donovan, why do you have, because my mother used to say this all the time. She goes, you have these chauvinistic old school ways that my mother never taught me these things. These are things that I picked up. Now, Demetria, you've met my mom. Do you think the way that I am, as determined and as a man that I am, is because of the way my mother is?
Hell to the yeah. And Donovan and I have had this conversation before. We've had this conversation and said, brother, you got a lot of healing to do. But I want to put this up here. CB says, mama was a freak, you ain't know it. My mama was no freak, but I guarantee you she could take your daddy.
And when Demetria said my mom, you know, I need healing, it isn't like my mom abused me or anything like that. My mom, being a widow, had to do what she had to do. My mom, she whipped ass, then asked questions. I could have been totally innocent, but it was after the fact. That's how it was back in the day. You know, you did what you're told. That's how it's going to be. There's no questions asked. I didn't have decisions. Everything was already told to me. So it isn't like my mom was abusive or anything like that. I just dealt with a mom that had to put it down real world.
No, and listen,
look how well you turned out.
Wait, but Black America, I'm gonna give it to you right now after this. I'm not saying, because listen, I'm a mama and I made mistakes, very small ones, but I made some, right? I had a mama. She made we can all say something that our mom and our dad did that we did not like. Unless they were a really horrible person, that don't mean that they're a horrible person. Donovan, your mama was doing the best she could. Your mom was a widow. She's raising two hard-headed ass boys, you know, and plus she had to work, and your mama was in the military, so your mama was doing the best she could, you know. So it doesn't make her a bad person. Now, unfortunately, as children, we do get the brunt end of them being unhealed or them doing what they have to do. And so we end up, you know, getting scarred and stuff like that. But when you become, as I call, like an age of knowing that you have trauma, you have triggers, then you're supposed to go get those things fixed. Because as my dad always says, you cannot undo yesterday. And unfortunately, when we will not forgive our parents, or mama, you remember when you said this to me, and daddy, you remember when, then it's like, you're going to keep nailing them to a cross that ain't even there no more. So the healing ain't on them anymore. It's on you. And that way, when we are healed people, we can get into relationships and they last, right? We're not superficial. We're not looking for attention. And the next broad that comes along that tell you fine, and you go hop and skip and jump over there. You know what I mean? Black America.
I got a question. Is your sister married?
No, she is not.
So you're not married and your sister's not married. And your dad, hold on a second. Hold on. And your dad set a high bar, high example of what a man could or should be.
Yep.
My question to you, I got a couple of questions. Has your dad ever picked a man for either one of you?
He has not, no.
So your dad hasn't picked a man for you. Has your dad then ever told you what kind of man to actually look for?
Yes, he has.
And so you guys just aren't looking for it, because your sister fine. I've seen pictures of her. I'll take her down. You know, you done crossed the threshold. I'm sorry, but your sister, I'll take her straight down. I'm taking her straight down through there.
A year and a half younger than me.
It's a threshold. It's a threshold. She fine. I seen her in them
You
pictures
fine
in
too,
Vegas.
Demetria. I have to tell you.
And you know what though?
Listen. Demetria's okay. Demetra's okay, but her sister fine. Her sister can get it. No, I'm playing. But so I think what the problem is people have a choice. And when you have a choice and somebody, a man, a dad, a father is not in control, we mess up. We mess those things up and we squander our time and the things that we could have because we don't actually pay attention to the big man on the block, which is our fathers.
Yeah, and as a parent, you can if you could, yeah, there you go. If as a and Walter has entered the building, as a parent, you can tell your children what to do, what to look for. And listen, as long as I've been doing this, and Donovan will tell you, I've never ever put all the blame on the person that I was with, or any of my exes, because I had some of that to blame, shoulder the blame as well. But sometimes people change. Sometimes I don't know. It's like it's called being human, which is why I'm single now. Because I'm much wiser, and it took me a long time to get here. I ain't gonna lie. But you can only tell your children what to do. You can't make them do anything, right? So, Walter.
I don't believe that. You can definitely make your children do things. All of them white people say they gonna cut their kids out of their will. They don't marry black people. Them Jews, they tell them they gonna kick them out of the house. They don't marry black people. Them people absolutely make their kids do things.
That's if but there's a lot of other cases too where people say, screw the money, I don't care, I'm gonna do what I want to do, right? So yeah, I get where you're going with that. Thank you so much. Black America crazy. I ain't listening to him. So y'all want to switch gears?
Well, yeah, we're supposed to talk about the $4,600 that the chick.
We're gonna talk about it. Walker came just in time. We're gonna talk about some money. I want to stay up here. You can. Who's that in the background, Walter? Is that Evan? Hey.
I want to warn you, he's half white.
and run up.
Actually, he's biracial. But he's coming.
He's black. There's no such thing as bi.
Well, that's a whole other conversation. You want to have that another day. The reason, real talk, the reason they started calling, if you were mixed with black or Mexican, the reason they started calling you black and Mexican, if you were mixed, is because they wanted to keep the white race pure. So if you were mixed with anything else, they would just exclude you out the race to keep the race pure, to keep white people one race. That's actually where that came from. The whole, if you have a black, like people say Barack Obama is black, and I believe he is, but that wasn't created by black people. That was created by white supremacists. Yeah, she mixed with a black dude. She's not one of us anymore. So she can go over to the Negroes. That's kind of where that came from. So that's why I said biracial. But I don't have skin in the game. As far as I'm concerned, he's black. He get pulled over, he's black.
And most importantly, he's my nephew. There you go. You know what? The Powerball's at $1 billion. Hell, let me get off of here. All right, for real, okay. Somebody said Carlee is white. Is she white? I don't know. All right, okay. Let's switch gears, okay? This thing that I'm about to show you, this is where the money gonna come in, okay? Y'all probably seen it. Apparently, a group of friends, they go out for a birthday celebration, okay? And the bill comes up to $4,600. And this is what happened next. Let me bring up the video. Nope, that ain't it. That's some other foolishness. Okay, here we go.
And you about to get killed walking up in the house. Sorry, here go another biracial child.
Hey, Margie.
I'm surrounded by biracial people.
Shut up. All right, here we go. I'm thinking. Let's see.
Bill, shawty, that's crazy. You expect us to split the bill? You got lamb chop, you got steak, you got some other. Look at all that. Look at what all they got. And they talking about splitting the bill. What did you come out for?
We come together to
Alright, I'm
split the
saying
bill.
so again. My thing is, y'all doing too much. Y'all doing way too much. We didn't order all that. But when
All right, so that was a short video. So as y'all saw there, they was at a restaurant doing all of that. So what I don't know what they had, but it came up to, from what I understand, $4,600. And the guys were saying, y'all was doing too much. You had some lamb chops or whatever, and we didn't have all of that. So why do we need to split the bill evenly? It was somebody's birthday party. I guess it was the girl in the pink and blue. And she said, we splitting the bill, period. We splitting the bill even, period. So I want to know, Walter, since you were kind of late to the party, what's your opinion of all of that?
I keep lamb chops in my freezer at all times. Grass-fed, grass-finished. I don't fuck with lamb chops when I'm out. This shit is like $50. I paid $12 for these and still
damn the lamb chops. What you think about what happened at the restaurant?
Oh shit. I just hope that shit wasn't true. But you know, I've seen that. I've actually been out with people, big groups. I used to go out with this guy from the music industry. I'm gonna leave him nameless. And every time the bill comes, he would bounce. But I've seen people having this conversation. Like, wait a minute, I didn't order all that, or you ordered, like, I don't know, if you splitting the bill 20 ways and you order lamb chops, Dom Perignon, I mean, you should pick up the majority of the bill.
Hold on. CB, I'm sorry. Because I thought you said my mama was a freak. And that's why I said, well, my mama could take your daddy. So I'm sorry. My apologies.
I don't know what that's about. But
I don't go out with groups like that. I like, I'm not paying the majority of a bill when someone else wants to,
Well, here's the thing. What kind of people go on a group thing and order the extravagant stuff and then expect not to pay for that specific extravagant stuff? I mean, what happened to moderation or the median of it? I mean, yeah, okay, let's say there's caviar, right? It's on the menu. But I know I don't really eat caviar on an everyday basis. I'm going to get the steak for $16, $20, $30. You know what I mean?
I think the biggest problem is those guys that were with them like other guys. And I don't think they want to pay for nothing that no chicks have ate. Because those guys sounded pretty soft around the gills. And they don't feel like they have to cough up anything for women eating.
Well, I mean, first of all, don't go out with unequal people. For instance, if you're the type of person that likes lamb chops and Austin Hope, Cabernet, then don't go out with people that like $2 chuck. Period. I mean, as you get more mature and more financially educated, you make better decisions. If even when I go out with my friends and we're all pretty equal, I know we just all split the bill up the middle. We don't be circling shit. We just all split the bill. Unless I'm out with my kids and then the bill slides down to me. But that's a whole different story. I said it's not true. They got their own money. But yeah, we split it up the middle. But when as far as the guys not taking care of the women, I mean, if I'm not sleeping with you, I'm not paying for you. That's just my thing. And even if I'm dating a girl, I don't like paying for her shit all the time. I don't date a woman that got me digging in my pocket all the time. Because what I need you for? I got the massage parlor next door, 120, 45 minutes.
That's why I love Walter. Love that man.
Change the sheets. I don't got to drop you off, pick up your hair with my lint brush off my sheets. I can just, Juan Lee got their own place.
Walter, let me ask you this question.
I can use my baby oil for my lamb chops.
Nasty. Kiki has a question for you. She says, I have a question for Walter. Just want his thoughts. Hi, Walter. What do you think about Musk and Gates now wanting to invest in AI? But were two of the main ones talking about the dangers of it? Do you think it's the money opportunity of it all that changed their minds?
No, I think they're always there.
Mm-hmm.
Elon Musk and Bill Gates use AI probably more than anybody. I mean, how do you think a Tesla drives by itself? Those guys, they've been making money off AI. They were they're the pioneers of it. I think they just try to warn about it to say, hey, here's what's going on, but they're not dumb. They're businessmen. And AI is the way of the future. That's why we have the writers and the actors strike right now. A lot of it is because of AI is like replacing the actors. So I don't know. They're two smart dudes. They're going to do what they're going to do. A lot of us, we get caught up in the news, and I got caught up in it too. But they're going to do what they're going to do what they always do. The two rich dudes, at the end of the day, their job is to take care of them and their families. Period.
So, all right. So let's get back to this, Mr. Pirate Brain. What would you have done? You're sitting at that table, and all of that breaks out. You splitting the bill. I ain't splitting the bill. What would you have done, and what would have been your opinion about all of that? I think he froze up.
Are you talking to Black America?
Mr. Pirate Brain. I think he froze up.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, we hear you now.
Yeah, Miami, and we would set up with a friend of mine and a few friends, and he would never pay his portion of the bill. And I had to pull his brother up and say, hey, man, your brother's kind of tapping out on the bill. And I didn't mind covering it for him every now and again because we were friends. But to do it every time, it just got to be annoying. So I think I would just bring it up. If it was a big group of people, I would be like, give me my separate check. I want my own bill. And I wouldn't feel any kind of way because I'm not going to be paying $1,000 for lunch. I'm just not going to do it.
And a lot of restaurants, they won't allow you to split the bill, especially if you go to like a lot of high-end places. They'll tell you, or they might say we can only split it 2 ways, and even 2 ways is what $2,000 and $2,300. So it's like that's still.
I'll be like, let me have a table over here next to theirs.
For me, it's knowing the nature of the people you are going out with. Most of us, we pretty much go out with the same people all the time, right? And you kind of know if they got money or whatever the case is. But I'm gonna just keep it real with you. I would not sit at the table, and a lot of you guys have said this. I wouldn't sit at the table and order a whole bunch of stuff and then expect everybody to split the bill, especially if my stuff was probably more. A lot of people they're just foul for that, right? And we know of some people who will gladly go along, like you said, Mr. Pie Brain, sit down, and it's like you got $5, you ain't ordering $5 worth of stuff. You like, well, since we gonna, split the bill or whatever, I'm gonna get the shrimp, I'm gonna get the lobster, I'm gonna get the. And then when people say, well, I just had a glass of water and a salad, which is the other thing. If I just had a glass of water and a salad, why do I get to split a $4,600 bill evenly? Unless I've already agreed. And I saw Will Smith actually said this once. He says, among my friends, I have the most money. He says, but I had to get to a point where I told them, don't assume that I'm picking up the tab because I'm rich. He says, I want y'all to treat me sometimes or say, or here's some, money on the bill. Don't just assume because I got it that I'm supposed to take care of you, especially if it's a bunch of grown men and grown adults even at the table and you expect somebody, unless they've already covered that with you, you should never go assume to do that. But all that hollering and stuff at the restaurant, I'd have been like, I don't even know them. I don't even know how I got at the same table with them.
Just tell me before we sit down, say, hey, look, I only got $5, man. You got me on this? And I can say, yeah, man, I got you. Go ahead. But just don't take it out my pocket. Just ask me.
Mm-hmm. Beaver Boy says you need to pay for the women. See, that's where I'm going to disagree. No. Women want equality. Women can pay for their check just like I'm going to pay for my check. Now, I will agree with you in the aspect of this. If you're a old school gentleman and the women are nice women and you want to go ahead and pay, absolutely, you should do that. But if Big Shirley sits down and no, can't do it.
Leo, that's how you do it. Says, first of all, if you're ordering from a menu with no prices, that tells you right there expensive, right? Like y'all have a price list for this?
Yeah. Market price means you need to have pockets that are deep. I'm telling you, me and my girlfriend went to the Salt Bay shit. The dude that, man, our bill was $900 for a steak. We split a tomahawk and a bottle of wine. It was $900 and some mashed potatoes. But we kind of knew. But like the crazy part is, she tried to pay for it. I was like, that's why we together. But anyways, that's a whole nother conversation. Women, you can learn from that.
I heard what's his name? Jaleel White. He played Urkel. Matter of fact, we saw him. Remember, Walter? We went to the Arsenio Hall show, and he was on there. And he said, now this was years ago. He says, because Arsenio said, "Are you dating now?" He says, "Yeah, I'm dating." But he says the problem I have is when I go pick up a young lady, he says she just runs out of the house. She don't have no purse, no nothing. She just has her and whatever she has on. And he's like, "Well, I get it, but you just assuming that I'm gonna pay for everything." And he wasn't saying that he didn't want to, but he was like, "Where are we going with this? Where the woman just comes out of the house with no purse, no nothing? Like I'm just going with it, and he's gonna take care of everything." Because I'm from the old school of your mama used to always tell you, keep some money on you, right? You go out on a date, at least have a quarter to drop in the phone unless you need to call a ride home if the date don't go well. But don't never go out with a man with no resources, right? So I just thought that was interesting.
No, that's insane. And that happened to me long time ago. And I'm like, what if something happens to me? What if I forget my wallet? What if I drop my wallet? You can't even you're the type of woman that can't even pitch in and pay. If you leave the house, you should be able to support yourself. Period. Otherwise, don't go. Or stay in the house, man. Listen, you can do such a fabulous deal at home. You can order lamb chops. Shit, what did I pay for these? $12? And they got rosemary on them. A bottle of wine from Trader Joe's is $3. Man, for 15, okay. So that's 3 chops. So she's gonna be hungry. So maybe 6 chops. And these are grass-fed. If I went down to Stater Brothers, then this shit would have been half. So if you don't care about your body, you don't have to do grass-fed. For $15, you and your girl could have dinner at the house. No Uber, no traffic, no waiter, no tip. And you guys can talk about building a house together. I think that's sexy. And I think we got away from that. Because think about this, right? You go out, everybody goes out and we order, and then we get in the car and we go home, and what do we get from it? It ain't like we talk business. It ain't like we came up with a strategy to buy real estate and build houses or to buy. We just tricked off the money. And the shit we ate ain't no good. You don't know what's in it. So health-wise, you suffering, and financially, you suffering. And then you dumbass make a video so the whole world can see how stupid you are.
Yeah. Al, you said your auntie had some good advice. Says my great aunt used to say, if you don't have the dough, you shouldn't go. Period. End of discussion. Unless you've cleared that up front. Hey, y'all know what? Right now, I'm kind of going through some things. I don't have it. I'll go. Can somebody spot me? Or at least have somebody say, "Oh, don't worry. Come on. We got you," right? But if you always that friend and you will never have it, it's like you don't offer to buy no water, no biscuit, no nothing. You just there,
Yeah.
I'll have that biscuit there.
I just said you want to go. I ate before I left, but I love spending time with you guys. And I've done that in the past. So you know what? Especially when I started, trying to, my treatment, and like when I was fasting, I would go out and say, you know what? I'm just gonna chill. I might have a glass of wine, take my ass to the bar. I'm gonna bring that wine back to the table. And I've been out. Y'all have seen me do this. I've been out with the family, and I'll disappear and I'll go to the bar, order my shit, I'll come back. Because I'm out with the family, that the bill slide right to me. I hate that shit.
Well, how many of us go into settings, right? Let's say you ain't got it like that. You know they're going to bring breadsticks and water. That's usually free. At least have the wherewithal to eat the breadsticks and water and enjoy the company, but don't have the nerve to order something you really can't afford to pay.
And, Donna, you make a good point. You said if this was credit card roulette, they wouldn't have ordered like this, which means that it could be your credit card.
Oh, that's gangster right there. I like that game.
I'm just going to have some water. And can you bring me a lemon? Or the sugar's already on the table? Okay, great.
Credit card roulette, that's a rich people game right there. But that is cool, though. That's actually, that would be a good, we got to do something with that, Donna. Donna, by the way, my podcast is open upstairs in my bedroom. It's all ready. Whenever you want to come on by.
Mr. Pirate Brain, are you frozen?
Am I?
Oh yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, you just frozen. I just want.
I was just being quiet. I was listening to you guys.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're just frozen, but we can hear you though.
Okay.
Let's see here, and MB or me Meb, I think it is 777. How you doing? It says they could have had that birthday party at home. Yeah, but that's the other thing too. I mean, I get it. People want to do extravagant things for their birthday, but it's like, I'm the type of person, if I invite you out for my birthday, I'm probably going to pay, right? I'll give you a perfect example. My sister, she turned 50. She says, we're going to Vegas. Now you had to get your own way there. But my sister paid for
Notice she didn't invite me because she knows I would not be.
She paid for everything for the most part. She paid for everybody's usher tickets and, the dinner most of the time. But she's like, I'm inviting you all out. And I think that's kind of how it should go. Unless somebody's throwing a party for you, then that's a different story. But if you're saying, hey, come out with me, unless you already got that cleared, I think you should be prepared to pay if you're asking everybody to come celebrate with you. I don't know. That's just kind of how I see it. But maybe I'm wrong, Lady Blue.
Yeah, on our next trip, if we go, you and Deanna could have your room and me and your sister could have our room.
She might go for that. She put a sheet in the middle of the room, though. She'd be like, stay over there, sucker.
You have a pillow in between the bed, fool. Hey, y'all want to go to Vegas, say the word, man. I got all these free rooms. I get this shit every week. I don't even go to Vegas. Y'all take y'all pick. We can roll. I do them like food stamps. Just give me a small fee. You can have a room.
50 cents on the room?
50 cents. Hey, man, these things are like $500 a night. I got a bunch of them. Give me $250. I'll send them to you. I even show up and stay with you.
Common Man 80.
Well, look, I got to run, y'all. I've had a good time up here with you. I appreciate it.
Come see us again.
Thank you for having me on.
Yes,
you guys have a good evening.
You too.
Okay.
And Common Man, how you doing? He says splitting a $4,600 bill, they would be SOL because I know somebody gonna cry broke, so I wouldn't have even went. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think by now you know the nature of the friends you hanging out with. Somebody gonna order a Tyrannosaurus Rex burger and then expect for everybody to pay for it. I wouldn't have gotten that demonstrative, but I would have just sat there like, can I see the bill? All right, here's mine plus the tip. But if I didn't already agree to that, I'm not splitting the bill with you, heifer.
Yeah, because remember when we used to go out to like a few clubs, I would buy these girls drinks. Even if the girls are having a nice girls out, I wouldn't even get a thank you. I wouldn't even get a thank you just to, buying the drinks. And so that's another reason why you see a lot of guys checking out of here because we're not appreciated for the chivalry that some of us might do.
But even on top of that, even if the girl is, and I'm gonna say some shit, and I do mean this, so I'm just gonna get it out. Even if she's thanking you, even if my daughter at,
hold on a second, Donna, I put the link in the comment section, so click on that.
Come on, Donna Brown, Donna Black. I wanted to make sure my daughter wasn't in the room. Even if she thanks you and you pour baby oil on the ceiling and it drips down slowly on both of you, at the end of the event, you still end up with zero. Some shit you can tell your friends about, man, I did it like this, I did it like that, I did it with a wiffle ball bat. You still don't end up with nothing. That's why, man, I shot a podcast Saturday. My first advice to young kids is do not date, because you spend money on a chick or a dude and you get nothing for it. My next life, me and a woman go out. Listen, I'm not spending $400 tonight. Come over, I'll make dinner. Maybe we can go out once in a while, but I'm gonna take that extra $300 and put in a pot for our down payment on an apartment, a duplex. You know what I'm saying? So every time I see you, we're gonna be getting money. We're gonna making moves together just to be having dinner, and we don't have shit. I don't care if I have the best sex, and you tell your girlfriends and the neighbors be like, yo, man, I can't be up for 3 hours every night. Even if your shit is like that, you still at the end of the day end up with nothing. There was a rapper that said that. I'd rather have the money. What if, let's say I take a girl out 10 times and we spend $300 each time. That's $3,000. That's 3% down on a $100,000 duplex in Alabama or Louisiana. Like, seriously, when we get to that part, as Black people, we will be unstoppable. You Negroes go and spend $4,600 at dinner. That's a down payment on a duplex. How about all you guys go in on a duplex? That's fire. You know what we did this weekend? We went out, collected our money, and we bought a duplex. And every week we go out to dinner. Now we go out and we buy a duplex.
What is your opinion, Donovan and Walter, about tipping? Because some people like I'll tell y'all. One time I had a professor in college, and he was wealthy. He said, "I don't tip. I tell him, if you want to tip, don't drink and drive." I was like, and it's the right guy.
I think tipping is turned into shit. I mean, it's a shit idea. You should tip them when they do a good idea, but tipping somebody when they tip, a tip is for them doing a good job. But restaurants just use it as an excuse to pay their people crappy wages, expecting them to get a tip. Tip is for good service. And I know I've been out and, I tried to leave $1 or $2 to somebody that was just rude. Like, I went out the other day and the person I was with, ordered something and then changed her mind. And the guy was like, oh shit, and he threw the salad in the trash. Well, you ordered it. She goes, well, if you were gonna throw it away, I would have just kept it. He goes, well, no, it's too late now. I said, he ain't getting a dime. He ain't getting shit. Matter of fact, I might shorten him on the check and leave him with 1 star. But the point I'm making, the whole thing with tipping is just, they don't earn it anymore. And in Europe, they don't even tip. Italy, they don't expect to tip. France, you go to France to eat out, they'll be like, here's your bill, bye, bitch. They don't expect to tip. They expect to provide a service that they're being paid for. Here in America, we expect to tip. Now, tip is cool if you do a good job.
I'm a firm believer in tipping because, of course, a lot of these people, their wages start at $3, $5 or something. And to me, the least you can tip is 15%. But like Walter said, if the service is crappy, I don't tip. But I'll tell you, when we were in Africa and the Seychelles, I was tipping like a big dog because the service was that good. It was that good there. So, because you want to have a good experience. Remember that guy, we were on top of that tower, Demetra, we're outside.
Oh, yeah.
And that young guy, he kept coming back and he was making sure he was, excellent stuff. And we were just dropping money on him and stuff like that. So if the service is great, please tip. But also tip the minimum of your meal or whatever. They really can't talk about you if you tip the minimum. Now, giving somebody $2 after waiting on you hand and foot for an hour and a half, that's not the right thing to do. So, I do believe in tipping if it's great, if it's good service.
And the other thing too is, hey, Donna, the other thing too is, don't just, I can't tell you what to do, but don't throw $2 on the table and you didn't have the waiter was waiting on you hand and foot, a whole table of, people and hand and foot, and you, well, here's $2. If I was a waitress, I'd rather you just give me nothing. But you ain't gonna give me $2 after I done gave you great service, everything you wanted. You wiggled your little finger and gave you water, and I don't do that. Just like the tipping should be a part of the experience. Don't go out if you don't have enough to tip. I know that sounds, because some people say, well, I'm paying for the food. No, it's like you're paying for the food and you're paying for the whole experience. Because if you know anything about what waiters and waitresses make, they don't make, the total wage. They get a percentage of that. And they, and a lot of times they're paid off of the tips that they may or may not make. So it's a lot of times if you don't tip them, they're still having to pay taxes on what I guess would be assumed that they would make. Maybe I'm wrong. Donna, how you doing?
Good. How you guys doing? Good to see you, Walter. Donna.
Hey.
What's going on with you, lady?
Well, Southern California Edison was working on the grid today. So my power was out for the past 8 hours. So it's back on right now. So it took me a while to kind of connect with you guys, but glad to be here. But I want to chime in because there's a couple of things I want to play catch up on. That $4,600 check, don't spend my money. If it's part of if you want me to treat you, tell me you want me to treat you, but don't have me show up someplace and then try and get me to pay for it. So if you want to see me upset, try and spend from my pocket. That's one. Two, tipping. I do agree with Walter. You go to Europe and places like that, it's built into the price. Tax, everything is built in. So it's no surprise. But here, unfortunately, in the US, they don't pay people a decent wage. And they do rely on tips. So if you do give me great service, you will get a great tip. And I do believe in tipping our service professionals in cash, because knowing people that work in salons, in restaurants, in areas that require, where they rely on that, I have found out that if you pay it on your card, they got to wait till payday to get that money, and they're taxed on that. But if you pay it in cash, they could take it home that night, and that might make the difference from, them being able to make rent or buy groceries or something like that. So if you are going to tip, try and tip them in cash. So that's
good to know, because I really didn't know that. So next time I go out, I will take cash. I did not know that. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said, easy. I want to go back to your comment. You said, so we have to, it says, so we have to make up for their low expectation job they chose. I don't know if it's that necessarily. Walter, you want to answer that?
Answer what?
I want to say this. The best way I heard this about in your example, low expectation jobs, is somebody has got to do it. If you go out to eat, who gonna bring your plate? You know what I mean? Even at a buffet, they still bring you water or something to drink, or they come move your plates and all of that. So it's like somebody's got to do that job, and that they're doing it. In my opinion, I think they should be treated, with decency and respect. Now, of course, if they are not doing their job, I think, Donna, you said it, go have or somebody said it, have a conversation with the manager. Have a conversation with the manager, or at least tell them why you ain't getting no tip. But, maybe tell the manager, because the manager probably needs to know. Maybe they need to be retrained or whatever the case is, but I don't know. I can't say that I've had bad service in a long time.
Well, since we're talking about serving and tips and jobs like this, how many of you guys heard in Chicago, the migrants are protesting the fact that they don't have jobs, they don't have service, that they don't have jobs and homes is the main issue. And they're out there protesting and mad and upset. How many of you guys have heard that?
Yeah, I actually reported on a story on African Diaspora News Channel about it. It's not surprising, like a lot of people come over here and they all of a sudden get demanding, we want it now. So that doesn't surprise me. But what does surprise me is we keep voting for the people that's, acquiescing their demands. So somehow we gotta change that.
Yeah, and then real quick, you put my comment up there, and this just chaps my hide. I don't know, Walter, you probably feel the same way. These people, they save up all their money, and you're going on vacation, and then you get cheap when you're on vacation. What's the whole point if you're not going to go and enjoy yourself? And hey, here, I got this, I got that. You're just having a good time because, Dimitri, remember when I was in Africa, I was a fool. I was just throwing money here, there, a little bit everywhere, just having a good time. And remember the next morning, people are like, "Oh, Mr. Sadiq, are you going to be joining us later on the evening?"
Let me tell you about Donovan, okay? Just really quick. Donovan, he when we was in South Africa, me and my daughter was suffering from the time change, so we was asleep, and Donovan was like, "So what sleep?" So he's out there in the streets, and my daughter was like, "We need to go find him because he ain't came back. So in the middle of the night, we out there looking for Donovan, and this fool comes stumbling from across the street out of the bar. This fool done opened up a tab. Drinks on me. One night, we were sitting down at a restaurant. We saw Donovan, but he didn't see us because he had a whole bunch of ladies around him. So me and my daughter went and got a table, and we sat there and was eating. And Donovan didn't see us, and so he's walking by, and they was playing Thriller. I got no video. They was playing Thriller, and I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" He's like, "Hey." But Donovan is that dude. He's like, he'll go somewhere, open up the tab, drinks on me, and all that other stuff. So I won't say Donovan, and I've been out with Donovan, and I've seen him watch women go to the bar, and he'll get up and he'll say, "I just told the bartender their drinks are on me. Put it on my tab." And then he gets mad because it's like they didn't even say thank you. And I'm like, well, in all fairness, maybe they thought me and you were together, and it was like, oh, he just bought us some drinks behind his woman's back. But I've seen him do it a bunch of times. So Donovan's telling the truth on that. Walter, what would you go say?
Yeah, I don't buy women drinks. I stopped doing that. I'm through being nice to people. Man, listen. When you see Donovan, he's retired. He's getting a check for the rest of his life. His house is paid off. He don't ever have to work again. He can rub cats all day. When you have it like that, you can make it rain. But for the rest of us, you know what I'm saying? Every dollar I spend on a drink for somebody else that I'm not building something with is money down the drain. It's trash. And ladies, I hate to say it because I know women, you have a shortage of men that are willing to take you out and do stuff. But what if we can just go out? And like for me, my best date is me and a girl sitting at the beach with a glass of wine, with a yellow pad and some appetizers, talking about how we're going to buy this land, build a house, finish it, refinance it, suck the money out and put on a new piece of land and buy another house and keep doing that until we can be like, we're done with work. That's the shit that turns me on. And I think if real men are honest, that's the shit that turns them on too. Because I'm telling you, man, booty fades. I don't care. Okay, make sure my kids ain't in the room. Well, hypothetically speaking, because I don't have a lot of experience with this. But like, the stuff fades. I mean, doesn't it? Like, if you can have the greatest night of your life with the perfect stranger, unless you live off the energy of memories, then that's another thing. But people, especially, and I'm talking to Black people, because this is the show, we don't have that luxury anymore. Like the actors, the writers, they are fighting for their careers right now. And these are people that make millions of dollars, some of them. Like Dan, Trejo, whatever his name is, said, we're not all Tom Cruise. But like AI is coming for them. They're not, you see the Bentleys driving out of Warner Brothers studio and the actors are out. Like, we as a people don't have that kind of time anymore. I don't have a problem with you going out spending $4,600 at dinner between 40 people. That's only $100 each. But if there's 6 in you and you don't own no real estate, you don't have no land, you don't have no businesses, you don't have nothing, I just think playtime is over. And we should take you, dip you in tar, some hot tar, and dip you in feathers and make you walk down the street butt naked for not having no investment real estate if you're going to blow money like that. And I'm speaking from experience because I've done that. I went out, spent money without owning real estate, without having investments, and waking up to my investments and what I'm doing to build my future wasn't the first thing on my mind. It was, well, it's not important. It wasn't that. So I know what it's like. But we have to get to the point where every move we make is about money. If you don't wake up and go, okay, not how much money I'm going to make, how much money am I going to save? Because you guys, I'm telling you, it's going to be, if you go to Cuba, Colombia, Honduras, they have really rich and really poor. When AI strikes America, that's going to be this country. You're going to be poor as hell, working for somebody rich. So you could be making $120,000 right now. In 5 years, you'd be lucky to maybe making 25. Welcome back. Welcome to the ghetto. And if you think I'm playing, a lot of countries, because what happens if you go over to Colombia, Argentina, some of these countries, what screwed up their economy? Automation and inflation. Inflation killed South America. But who does inflation help? It helps the rich. If I have 10 houses and a bunch of businesses and I'm selling tacos and tacos go from $2 to $3, who is making money? The person that has the businesses. Do you think Walmart cares about inflation right now? Hell to the no. They're making money. I went somewhere yesterday and I remember spending, it was like $10 and then it was like 13. The person that's selling it for 13 is making the money. The guy that's punching the clock and now is spending 13 from 10, he is losing. The rich dude is not losing. The business owner is not losing. They're winning. Inflation works for the rich. Because if you own 100 houses and they go from 200 to 400 and you sell them all, you doubled your wealth. The guy that's renting and buying lamb chops out for 4,600, he's the one getting killed. So, and I know we've kind of talked about this in the past, but like the time is up because it's not a black and white thing anymore. It's everybody thing. Everybody is suffering right now. You guys watch, just mark my words. When you see everybody starting to feel the pain, because AI doesn't have a race. They don't care if you're white or black. They're like, replace. One of my friends, she was in a Waymo, driverless Uber. She sends me a video. Look, no driver. I said, that's a human out of a job. No tip. No, he's gone. What do you think is going to happen when Waymo and Uber figure that out? Those thousands and hundreds of thousands of Uber drivers who aren't saving their money, who don't own land, who don't own businesses, who don't have a side hustle, they are going to be housekeepers for people like us. And thank God I got a spare bedroom. I'm going to put 4 beds, 2 bunk beds in there. I'm going to have a driver, a cook, a cleaner, and a masseuse all staying in the same room. Now, it sounds shitty, but like they have been warned. But you know what it's like when you go to those third world countries? That's what they have. They have 3 or 4 servants sleeping in the same room. They give them food, a little car, and drive around. They give them shelter. But when the owner's awake, they're at work. Chop, chop. You know what I'm saying? That's where we're going. And then we got Joe Biden at the helm. Oh, Lord. Assuming he can stand up or don't die. Actually, Joe Biden, he will be president if RFK or Joe Manchin don't somehow take over. Can you imagine 5 more years of Joe Biden? Think about this, black people, for one thing. Hunter Biden cheated on his taxes, lied about having a gun, and is getting community service. If me and Donovan had a gun charge, if we were in the car with a Negro, so-called Negro, African American, whatever you want to call somebody dark like me and him, if we were in the car and our buddy had a gun, we'd have charges too, just for being in the car. And Lord forbid, like we not like didn't pay our taxes, but like purposely avoided taxes. Come on, we'd be in jail. But somehow y'all keep voting for this dude who is, man, Joe Biden, he must have Jimmy Crack Corn, the nigger statue on his mantle because niggas are keeping him in office. South Carolina, you did it again. But
let me stay on the block on something Walter said before we go down this rabbit.
Oh, she got. I forgot she was there.
When you talk inflation, let's go back to inflation, because what people really don't understand about inflation, it is the thing that really clearly defines the haves and the have-nots. Because what will end up happening is that you will either make a lot of money or you will become very indebted. So if you're not making any money, plan on becoming very indebted. So what are you doing during this time? Because if you go to the gas pump, if you go to the supermarket, wherever you go, your utility bill, you notice the increase. What are you doing to prepare for that? Are you formulating a business? Are you creating a side hustle? What are you doing? Are you planning are you doing like Donovan and you got like a field of like, fruits and vegetables out there that you can plant to prepare for this? You need to be doing something so that you do not end up heavily indebted here, because we are going to end up at a point where, people are either going to be very, very rich or very, very poor. So now's the time to decide which bucket you want to end up in.
And Donna, let me ask you this, and if y'all can't tell, Donna know her stuff when it comes to the money, okay? She is an expert. But let me ask you this. How important is it for people to really get together? When I say get together, you got a lot of people who, I don't know, maybe they could take on a wife or a husband or whatever the reason, whatever, and they don't. Or maybe family members living together. Like where is that in the larger scheme of things with the way things are going now? Because everything's going up, but you have some people who, maybe have a big giant house by themselves and they got a family member that's struggling or something. What's your opinion about that?
I had a conversation with someone earlier about this, is that I noticed that people of color typically really usher their kids out of the house at a very young age. A lot of other cultures you find, grandparents, kids, cousins, all living together and pooling their resources. And I think it's important that we kind of get back to that cohabitation of living together. There's no point of you having a 3,600 square foot house and you and your 4 cats are living in there. It's pointless, open that up to a family member. And here in California, my daughter was saying this. My daughter was saying, people I think in California get married solely because rents and mortgages are so expensive that, they can't afford to do it on their own. But I think if people got into, okay, I have this home, rather than, my cousin or my nephew or my sister paying $2,500 for rent, how about she come in and pay 25% of my mortgage, and we stack our money and go back to what Walter was saying, put together a pool, and then we buy property. And that's what a lot of other cultures that come here, that they come here with nothing and they live 20 in a house. I used to see it in New York all the time, people sleeping in shifts, and each person, their responsibility is to help every person in that house get their own. And that person goes out and gets their own, they rinse and repeat. They do it all over again. So I think that's something we really need to focus on and get out of the mindset that, there's not enough for everyone. There's more than enough for everyone. I think we need to get out of that lack mindset that, if I share information with you, it's going to dip into my pot. No, it's not. What's for you, it's for you, and can't be anyone else. So,
and I always tell you guys about this book called The Hidden Secrets to Oriental Wealth. That's the name of the book. I mean, you can listen to it on YouTube, and they talk about just what Donna said, how they all get together, and it's they being the Asian community. They get together, and like you said, sleep in shifts, and they all have a common goal of, now you get a house. Now you get a house. You know,
and it's on YouTube. The shit is free. You know what I'm saying?
The Hidden Secrets of Oriental Wealth. That's the name of it on YouTube. It is one of the best books you'll read or listen to. I promise you. But that's how they do it.
Let me ask Donna this, because she's experienced with all this stuff. In our community, we have a proclivity to always upgrade and get a car that we didn't finish paying off, and we constantly keep paying for the same basic thing that does the same basic thing. What is your thought on people out there getting cars and leasing cars every so many years? And, of course, cars keep going up in their leasing value because, I don't know how that has to do with the supply chain thing, whatever. But we notice, especially when it comes to a lot of our women, because there's no man around, they're not fixing cars like they used to. Cars are kind of self-imploded, but I notice a lot of women keep leasing cars and leasing cars and leasing cars. And at the end of that lease, a lot of them take a hit on the lease because the car wasn't,
that's a good question,
doing well. What would you say in regards to things like that?
Well,
we're not getting the value.
I tell people all the time, a car is a depreciating asset. The moment you drive that off the showroom floor, it's worth $2,000 less than what you bought it off the bat. So for women, I'm gonna speak to women. You need to here's what you need. You need to find yourself a really good mechanic. Someone that you establish a relationship with, that you trust, that know that's not gonna ream you over. Because I think that's why a lot of women fall in the pitfalls of buying a car brand new, is because they don't know much about cars and they're afraid of being taken advantage of. So they say, I'll get something that has a warranty, and if something goes wrong, it's on the dealer. And I'm here to tell you, new cars have issues too. So just because you buy something brand new doesn't mean that you're going to avoid the whole having issues thing. But I was fortunate. I say this. I was telling my daughter this the other day because I got her a Mini Cooper.
Oh, shit.
I got her Mini Cooper, and it's 10 years old. And it runs really well. I have a good mechanic. And she was talking about this foolishness about getting a new car. I said, first of all, you're still in college. You can't afford a car payment. And I'm not paying for another car. This car is owned outright. It's serviceable. It does well. And think about it this way, because she was whining the other day that something went wrong on it and I had to pay $500 to fix it. And she said, well, that was $500 to fix the car. I'm like, let's look at this on a bigger scope here. An average car payment is like $400. And the fact that you're under 25, your insurance is going to be ridiculously high. So let's run it up to like $600 with insurance. If I have a major problem with that car twice a year at $500, that's like $100 and something car payment a month.
That's what's up. That's true.
So I think we really need to get out of that mindset of new is always better. No, I could use that money to do something else. I will be very transparent. During the pandemic, I went out and I bought a Tesla. But you know what? I was able to sell that Tesla for $4,000 more than I bought it for because they were in demand.
I know that's right.
Ain't nothing wrong with the Tesla. The Tesla, if you're going to buy a car new, buy an electric one, because one, those cars rarely break down. Two, you're not spending money on gas. The electric car, if I was going to buy something new, that is what it would be. Is I would get an electric car. So
and leasing, and Scorpio 11, how you doing? Leasing is not a bad idea if you're not going to go over the miles, right? Because you're not stuck with the car.
Well,
you got to take care of it.
Leasing is not bad if you own a business.
Right. You can write it off.
So, if you own a business, lease a car. As a matter of fact, go ahead and get yourself a large SUV that weighs more than 6,000 6,000 pounds, so you could write off the entire thing, right? But it depends on your. So if you're working a 9 to 5 and you're making $40,000 a year, it probably isn't the best option for you. You know, here in California, they say the average salary range is like $70,000 before you kind of hit into a poverty level. So for those of you watching outside of California, if you're making less than $70,000 a year here in California, they consider you poverty level. But if you're making less than what the poverty line is, you should not be financing a car.
But people do, and because I'm like, I'm gonna ride mine till the wheels fall off. Okay. No car payment is gonna be, you know, my dad is a mechanic. He's been that way since he was 19. He says, as long as you take care of the car, upkeep, it'll keep rolling. You know, you're gonna have to do some wear and tear maintenance and stuff, but just take care of it and it'll take care of you.
And I'm gonna add to that because my father, you know, he taught me how to change a tire. He showed me how to change oil. So I know how to do things on a car. But like I told my daughter, I don't have to do it. I could pay someone to do it. But you know what? Here's the advantage of knowing how things are done. No one can take advantage of you because you know what needs to be done and how it should be done. So you make a very good supervisor at that point. So I think that's the other thing, you know, a lot of the skills, you know, mechanics, you know, carpenters, plumbers, electricians, a lot of that in our community has gone away because, you know, I'm very much into, you know, believer of education, but I do think there is a place for skills, craft men and women, where you can make a lot of money, and not everyone's designed or made to go to college for 4 years. And that's not the route for everyone. But, you know, learning a trade, because I'll tell you this, my plumber and my electrician, every time I call them out here, you know, there's no negotiating rates with them. It is what it is. And they're always busy. So, you know, get to the point where we understand things. We're not so much of a consumer, for lack of a better word. So that's
absolutely. Well, everybody, hey D Griffin, how you doing? Everybody got some great advice. Donna, thank you so much for coming on here and giving us some great advice. I learned something I didn't know. Tip your waiter in cash, not a credit card, because they don't get that money until payday. But if they give them the cash, they can take it that night. And we know a lot of waiters, unless they working at like a really high end place, right? A lot of them are struggling. And like you said, in California, even $70,000 in California, shoot. What can you really do with that? I was looking at houses, because y'all know I'm in Houston, in California, and I was looking at like rent. I saw somewhere in Moreno Valley, California, for $7,200 a month. I said, what is they smoking? $7,200 a month. And I'm like, no.
Right. And right down the street, we got a nice wildfire rolling.
Oh, you guys got the rabbit wildfire out there. That shit is insane.
It's not raining. It has not, knock on wood.
Well, it's not even that. It's just, I mean, it's hot. And Donna, before you go, I forgot. I don't know if I invited you on Facebook, but I'm having a candle party at my house at 2:00 this weekend on Saturday.
You did invite me.
Okay. Did you respond? Are you coming?
Yeah, I did. Obviously, you don't look at your invitation.
Well, I got people for that, but I will look when I get done.
And yeah, I'll be looking for I'll be out there in August anyway, so I'm gonna give me a suitcase full of candles. Your average logical
for
figure.
A small fee.
I ain't paying you jack for no kind. I'm your sister.
And hey, for those of y'all who ordered candle from me at www.lit.one, I want to say thanks. If you order something from me here, I send you extra candles stuff. So, you know, we got.
Are those soy candles?
They're soy candles. So these are the 14 ounces. I just started making these. As you see, my daughter is unpacking the box. Me and her are about to make 200 candles. But we have the 14 ounces and the 10 ounces. We're also coming out with a candle that you can pour on your body or on your partner. You can wax on and wax off, and it doesn't burn you. So, and then, it will progress to being a lubricant. We have several products coming out. So,
well, when I get there, I'm gonna take a few of them and test them out and let the peoples know how they work.
Look, you see how they work. They burn fine.
You need a personal testimony. I'm gonna need each.
What do you mean test them out? What do you mean test them?
Y'all don't know all my business. I'm just playing.
Now that you can put our soy coconut candles, you can pour them on the cat even. What? I mean that cat. That's the cat I'm talking about.
About to get off the OnlyFans. YouTube is about to kick her off with this content now.
No. The website is in the description, the www.lyt.one. We're also doing a Mary Kay style sort of network marketing, building a multi-level market. This is gonna be a bunch of cool stuff. We have some cool stuff on the table. But yeah.
Kimmy has a question.
Are you gonna give out pink Cadillacs?
No, I don't know yet. I was thinking maybe black cars, since it's a black-owned business. You know what I prefer? The car bonus, what they do is they give them the money for the car. And as long as they qualify every month, they get the car payment. If they don't qualify that month, then they make the car payment on their own. So I would prefer just to buy them the car outright. It's going to be used, of course, because I sell those too. In case you know somebody that needs a car, Donna, like your kid, I'm down the street from you. I know you live in Rancho Cucamonga.
I don't live there anymore. Where have you been? I'm in Long Beach.
Oh, shit, parking for you must suck. Unless you...
All right, y'all, we about to get out of here. Y'all go to the candle party and whatever party you gonna go to. Our average logical thinker. I'm from California too, and I feel you. I would love to go back, but my bank account says, nah, you're better off in Houston. You ain't got to have a whole bunch of jobs to live there. So I'm doing really well here. So, until further notice, yeehaw.
No, Houston is beautiful. I love Houston. The lakes, the downtown, the people are nice. I mean, Houston, I love Houston. I mean, it's a phenomenal. I like it. The humidity is crazy. But, the white people are nice, some of them. You know what I'm saying? It's funny. I lived next to a neighbor who had a Confederate flag when I moved in. Remember Peggy?
I remember Peggy. She tried to tell me you said I didn't like her. I said, I ain't never tell him that. I didn't tell you. Your brother said you didn't like me. I said, first of all, I never told him that. I said, I don't have an opinion at all, right? I come over here and I leave. No,
I just said, my sister runs a pro-black channel. She ain't gonna like that flag. But you know what?
That flag don't bother me.
She took it down.
That flag, I didn't have think one way about it at all. That the Confederate flag don't do nothing to me.
Man, my neighbor had a Confederate flag. She trying to get my ass over there every night for cocktail hour. I had to build a fence.
Your average logical thinker said he's coming to Houston next month to look at houses. They have some pretty reasonable houses. However,
I'm always looking for houses in Houston.
It's the property taxes and of course the interest rate. So it bumps it up. Texas is the highest interest property, has the highest property taxes in the nation. So,
and the property values went up, so they're feeling the pinch, and that's what's hurting Houston on that $100,000 to $300,000 level. It's hurting them. But then when you go to $500,000, now you're paying $10,000 a year in property tax. That's $800 a month. When your neighbor 2 miles down the street, their whole mortgage is $800. So that's what's hurting. That's what's hurting Houston. But if y'all know of anybody selling their house cheap, a little duplex, fourplex, a cheap apartment building, let us know. That's what we do. And we pay a finder's fee. If we close on the property, we'll cut you a check.
Absolutely. So anyway, we're going to get out of here. We love and appreciate every last one of y'all. Please be cool out there because it is super hot. I did not know Texas was having some fire issues. I guess maybe I should check out the local news. I don't have cable, so that's probably why. But anyway, I'll find it some way. So we'll see you guys on Sunday. Donovan and I will put the link. Y'all want to come on. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but thank y'all so much for being here. We will see y'all later. Peace.
All right.
Fun.
See you Saturday, Donna.
See you Saturday.
All right. Peace.